So to start off with, you're going to need a pencil, a ruler and an eraser. I prefer you to use a pacer. So we're going to start by drawing a horizon line. This is the line. It's where you can imagine the sun is setting, hence the horizon line. On this line, draw a dot or a cross in the centre. This is going to become our vanishing point. So our keywords are horizon line and vanishing point. You don't need to write these on your drawing though. So that's our vanishing point and this is our horizon line. From here, we're going to draw a street scene. So at the front, we will draw a front building or the front face of our building. So you can choose to do a cube, a cuboid. You can even do something irregular. I might do a slightly irregular shape here to explain the difference. Ooh, I'm going to go complex with this one. And I might do a more simple one on the other side so you can see the difference. This one I'm going to start a little bit lower down so you can see what it looks like, the depth of the different buildings. Okay, so this activity should take you probably about 20 minutes. Make sure your pencil's sharp and you're using a ruler. Oopsies, a little bit messy there. Just neaten that corner up. Trying to be accurate is really important with these types of drawings. Alright, so I've got my first two building faces. So very similarly to our last task, we need to take our lines from each of the points of our cuboids back to the vanishing point. The same for this corner too. Essentially you would have one here as well, but because it's going through the front of the building you don't see it. Okay, next I'll do this side too whilst I'm here. We'll do the other diagonals. So I've got my two buildings. This is an irregular shape. We can still treat it in the same way. So at any point, draw your lines back to that single vanishing point. Again, there would be one here, but we can't see that edge, and again there because they're on the other side of the building. Now I want to choose the depth of my building. Something like so. So I'm using a completely vertical line. I can take my line off the first edge, and again my horizontal line needs to be completely horizontal. This building, it's the same process. Oh, I missed one, didn't I? Let's go back and pop that in. That'll make my life a little bit easier. So I can choose the depth that I want for this building, similarly, and then all of those vertical and horizontal lines need to match up. So I've got another one here, and I don't need to worry about that edge. That is actually the edge of the building. So I can draw it in a little bit thicker, just so you can see it. Now, what you're going to continue to do is build your street scene. So you could add features on, like windows, like so. Just add a couple on here for your reference, and I'll show you how to do some on the side as well. They're roughly about the same size. There we go. You spend a little bit longer on yours, I'm sure. And then if I want some on the side that are at the same height, I'm just going to draw my lines in a similar fashion, back to the vanishing point each time. And I've got a little frame there. I can then divide that down into my windows. Okay, so you see I've got two windows there. And I can erase these little bits there and there. Now if I want to put another part on top of my building, so for example I want a second level, I'm going to pick a point to start drawing a rectangle. So I'll show you this, it's a little bit harder. Let's go, so it's like a chimney or, I don't know, just an extra building on top. I might rub these out so you can see exactly what I mean. Just rub that out, rub this little bit out there because we don't want that in a minute. A little stray bit at the top. And then, the same way, I'm going to take my lines back to the same vanishing point. But notice my angle is changing. I'm then going to choose my depth, so I probably want about the same depth in aesthetic, in the look as the height. I've got a little bit to add on for that roof there. Might not see that much of that. And then the same, I need to go across and do my horizontal because there is a tiny bit that's visible there. So hopefully you can see that chimney or top stack of the building. And for this activity, please, you can keep your horizon line high. You could even have it in the middle. It's harder if you do it low. So you select how you want to do it, but just know that you are the audience. So you are the audience when you're viewing it. When you're drawing it, you're just using these points as reference. Okay, so this refers to the activity that's in Minerva, this one here. So what you'll do is you'll continue to build your street scene and you'll submit that using your remote learning book 2 onto the 1 point perspective activity, student activity 2. Thank you, ladies.